Welcome back to the HGC. Dignitas and Granit Gaming face off, and surprise, Dignitas is up 2-0. However, Granit Gaming has been putting out more of a fight than I think a lot of us expected, as they have taken them toe-to-toe, especially going into the mid-game.
Yep, looking pretty good, especially on the last map. Was also the map choice that we saw from Granit Gaming, so definitely coming in with a strategy. But yeah, also a bit of a role swap again occurring. Raid boss not at the frontline tank anymore. Instead, it's Nanda. Question, of course, is if they want to play Samuro, do they change that up? Do they just not play their Samuro strategy anymore? Or how does that impact it?
We'll have to ask them about this role swap, because it's definitely a little bit of a surprise to us. As let's go ahead and look at player comparisons. Memecraft has been a pretty pleasant surprise too, as he started to really fit in with this roster. Sure, a little shaky in week number 1, week number 2, starting to get a bit more composed, but today he's looking pretty darn strong as we compare him against Poik. And also, now that we have a full picture of him, right?
Yeah.
Benedict, cover patch, 100%. Doctor Strange.
Definitely. I also think it's pretty, it's pretty mean to compare him against Poik immediately. The guy just made it into HGC. It's like in his 3rd week.
Welcome to the HGC. Poik, are you as good as this guy? Can you handle the pressure, Memecraft?
This is like a little bit rude.
Yeah, but good stats overall.
You know, to me that signals that Josh doesn't like Germans. So.
Come on, Josh.
I don't think that's okay.
That's not cool.
It's like, why?
Why? Josh is so... Stop being mean to Josh, okay?
What do you mean mean to Josh? Like
You're mean to Josh.
He picks the new German kid and picks on it. That's not fair.
Josh uses the word zoinks, okay? So he's good in my book.
He doesn't use that.
He did use it twice. On the right side, Valskaya Foundry picked up, as Granit Gaming is choosing the battleground once again.
So if we are seeing a ban on Samuro, it's here.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, yeah. Again, we have seen a lot of role swaps already for Raid Boss, and they shifted forth and back a couple of times in previous times. I just want to see if they are just switching stuff up now when they are trying to play Samuro, if they're going to let Samuro go completely. I absolutely enjoy the way that they're picking these maps instead of going for a first pick and just simply saying, hey, we have maps prepared, we have second pick strategies on those maps, and we are going to run those. We think that's more advantageous for us than simply taking a first pick and maybe giving you the map choice where we don't really know what's going on. So the way they approach this, I think is pretty cool. Yeah,
it's definitely a change in the wind. Typically, if we have teams pick a battleground, it's usually once in a best-of-5 series, but to do it time and time again shows that they have preparation, and also that they knew they might be in a spot where they're losing here, so they want to be able to come into different battlegrounds and be able to adjust.
Yeah. Again, it's also sometimes a sign of the weaker team oftentimes does that because they're trying to surprise opponents. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you specialize on a couple of certain maps and your goal in a best-of-5 series is to maybe not win the entire series, but take specific maps, that's absolutely okay. Especially since they came in and said from the get-go, listen, we are the underdog. It's going to be rough, but if we can take a few maps, that would already be a win for us.
Well, but as we head into the ban phase, Team Dignitas thinking about what they want to take away. So far, it's been the Tracer that they have not allowed on the field. No major reason to change that up here. So far, they have been able to shut down Granit Gaming. And
yeah, there's a small reason.
Lay it on me. Which one?
It's that little Blade Master that we've seen a few times for Granit Gaming now. So you have to at least think about it. I still think they're going to ban Tracer. But you have to at least think about, okay, do we have to change it up now? But I feel that Dignitas in particular is also okay playing against Samuro here.
I do wonder if we will get Vala Tassadar once again from Team Dignitas.
They played it a few times now.
Twice now, on this map.
That's something that Granit Gaming knows too, and I feel this is why this is a bit of an awkward spot, because what do you ban here? Do you ban Tassadar, and you're absolutely okay if they're taking Tracer, and you're saying, well, as long as they don't have a Tassadar Tracer, we can deal with it? Or do you just say, no matter what, even if we... let's make sure that we ban Tracer out, because even if they play Tracer either with Avatar as a pseudo support or just with the solo support, it's going to be too tough for us to deal with.
I'm thinking about it. That's going to be Urel.
Okay. Allows for Tas or Tracer to be picked. It's the Tassadar.
Do you think Urel's... Do you think we'll be sad because Urel's banned, or do you think he's happy?
I think he has a smile on his face right now.
No.
I just think that the URL ban was a screw-up. Because there's Vala and Tracer out, and you can't pick both.
Yeah.
So I understand why they go for URL. I get it. But if you know that your opponent has now played a Tassadar, double support, Tesla double support Vala composition a couple of times, that you have fantastic Tracer players on the other side, and that's the map where you ban Urel. Not really sold on the idea. I like the Urel Bell in general against Team Dignitas because they're so dominant on the offlane with her, but this is a map where Dignitas has now shown twice double support Vala, and they can now with the Tracer first pick play double support Vala and double support Tracer. You can't get around that, so I would have loved for Tracer to be banned out or Tacita to be banned out, one of the two. But I don't think that that was really the best way into the draft. Doesn't mean that they're going to flat out lose it, but Dignitas is definitely going to get what they want.
Especially with Kane and Blaze being picked up. Now Furion and Vala come out, and so we're going to have the double support Vala. And they can also still ban Tracer if they want to, Team Dignitas, if they feel like they need to. They don't even have to at this point.
Yeah, again, if not Tracer, I would have banned Tacita. I think that would have given them a little bit more. But let's see how they handle it. They have Blaze, they have Deckard, so that's at least some good tools, but Dignitas has now that double support front lane setup. The only thing that they really need to shift TLV being banned out. This is actually how scared they are at this point. Vikings, so just to put this in context, Vikings have actually been played once by Dignitas on this map.
Against an Avatar comp.
Against an Avatar composition, correct. So we could see Dignitas even thinking about banning out Avatar here.
Yeah.
Samuro is another ban that you have to at least consider on the second ban. As we said before, Granit Gaming played Samuro several times. Now, they have changed also their roles a little bit, so the question is, how does that affect it? Is Dignitas really worried about Samuro? That's another question, because a lot of teams have done really well adapting to Samuro plays after we've seen Samuro push into the European meta for 2 weeks in the early stages in the first phase of 2018.
Thinking about it, Avatar, Tracer, Samuro, all these heroes you can toss. Should consider with Granite Gaming pick up.
I would probably be more worried about Avatar than Samuro.
Yeah.
But again, it's just taking a wild guess. For Dignitas, my question is just simply what's going to be the offlaner now that Urel is banned out. Yeah, Avatar is a ban. I like that. I think that's the better ban to go for.
So against Granite, or against Team Dignitas here, for your main tank, do you think Garrosh would actually be a decent composition here to try and get a pick on somebody? Or is that too much poke between Tacita and Vala? Or he'll struggle, even with the Kane backing?
I don't think that you're going to do yourself a favor with Garrosh, because you have, again, Tacita, and you can simply go into armor of level 4, try and keep the target alive. And do you really get close enough to Vala to get that flip over? Probably not.
Not diving in for Vala, but just trying to find a pick or some way to...
Yeah, but again, who are you going to pick if you don't pick any of the three? Although those are the three squishies that you have. Outside of that, you're going to see an offlaner and a tank.
True.
So if you flip the offlaner or the tank, Tacita's shield should be helping them to survive through that.
Yeah.
A hero that you might be able to burst down despite that would be Vala, but you're not ever going to get close enough to her. So getting away from Garrosh, I like that. Going into Muradin here, it's definitely a good choice. Also takes Muradin away from JPL. Phoenix, and it opens up a potential last pick into, yeah, even Samuro, if they're able to or willing to let Phoenix be the only range damage healer. For Dignitas, though, we still need the tank. We could see them run... I mean, there's still Johanna, there's a Nubarak to be out there.
There's Diablo with Tacita shields, which is allowing him to dive a little bit more aggressively, especially in the early game. They pick Garrosh themselves, actually, though.
For them, it makes a bit more sense.
With Malfruit, yeah.
But then again, they also have to be careful because Muradin can jump out and Blaze can just simply pop a bunker.
So what's fifth pick?
But what you can do with Garrosh, which is actually really nice, is of course you have Taunt available. So that really helps you to peel for Vala a bit better. So there's a couple of tools for you with that.
This is Wolby's pick. It's going to be Leo. Helpful with Muradin, Blaze, even Phoenix to a degree. So they have lockdown, and Poik will be the solo damage dealer, hyper carry.
All right, bring it. I want them to at least try.
With Samuro?
Yeah, Samuro, anything unorthodox.
Samuro and Tacita, though, Oracle popping out. You won't be able to do well in teamfight. Sure, you can split push.
Like again, it doesn't have to be Samuro per se, but I really like that they played it a little bit out of the box the last time that they actually played, so I would really enjoy if they would go into a bit of an unorthodox pick and just say, okay, we have several things prepared for Volskaya. It doesn't always have to be a simple road pick.
Yeah.
We have a couple of things prepared. So I would really just like them to go into something where they say, okay, this is different and let's see what we can take here. The only thing where I would shy away from it is if you want to save it for future opponents. Okay, they go Chromie, they go Standard. This is one of the concerns that I actually have a bit on my head. If you have a special draft prepared, think about the draft that they played the last time on Towers of Doom that we talked about so much. That was a draft that actually won the map 5. Do you show that draft here? Because you are going up against Dignitas, a team where you know, okay, this is going to be rough going anyways. Can you, with a surprise pick, really take them down here? Do you reveal a strategy all of a sudden for a future opponent where they're like, well, maybe they're crazy enough to pull it off against us? That's a concern that I would have. So that's the one argument that I really have where you would say, okay, let's play it solid with a normal composition that we would play against other teams as well, and we just go in a fight against Team Dignitas on the execution level. We take the most that we can learn from the series. If we can still take a map, that's fine. But our strongest drafts that are a little bit funky, those we save until we go up against an opponent where we say, okay, this is a map that really, really matters right now. This can decide the series, so let's use it here.
Yeah, especially if it's a hero they've never picked before, but if it was like a Valir or Samuro, we already know that that is currently heroes that they can move into.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I agree with your line of thought there. There's no way they're going to win this entire series overall, so why reveal everything? Let's move into, potentially, our final battleground as we go into Volskaya Foundry. Dignitas is up 2-0 over Granit Gaming.
Game number 3. Dignitas in the lead as the Germans on the left side. Memecraft on Phoenix. We're seeing Darkmok again here on Blaze with Wolf Joe now on Deckard Kane. Raid Boss on Chromie once more. And Nanda on Muradin. Chromie player of Raid Boss is pretty cool. Let's see if we can pull a similar strong one off again.
On the right side, Snitch on Tassadar. Wubby on the Orc. JPL on Garrosh. Poik on Vala. And Zelia on Malfurion.
So far, Dignitas has only lost a single map in Phase 2. 9-0 on Urel, which for the first time they don't have here. And the spray game is on.
A little bit of dance between the two. Nothing too crazy. Raid Boss looking to get those stacks going already. And he hits one. Whereas Team Dignitas will hope to clear out this wave that actually Granit Gaming got the upper hand on.
Yeah,
early.
I mean, to be fair, Chromie did actually really well in the last game with all of this Dark Morkies now. Oh, that's actually cute. The two pigs are just like rubbing noses there. That is insanely cute.
Your snouts.
Yeah.
You know.
Why are you laughing? That's actually cute. Just because you don't have a heart doesn't mean that it's not cute.
I'm over here looking at that. I'm like, oh, he's denied 1 minute experience. That's a cute little maneuver. And you're like, snouts. God, I love snouts. Money pigs.
I mean, to be honest, that was them just fooling around. That was all there was to it.
It's true.
It's actually kind of funny when you talk to solo laners, because in certain matchups on the solo lane, there's very little that you can do, but you're just like sitting in front of each other and you're doing too much. And so there have been instances where the two solo laners have just been B-stepping in front of each other for the first 2-3 minutes of the game, because there was just very little to do there. So there's definitely a bit of goofing around going on every now and then, depending on the matchup and the map that you're playing.
If you don't have the kill potential on the opponent, if staying through, you just need your wave clear, and that's about it.
Yeah, because sometimes you're absolutely not willing to push the lane out, because if you push the lane out, then your opponent has an easier time to gank you. So both of you are just sitting there and are just unwilling to attack the opponent's wave, because that would shift the balance too quickly.
Yep. Oh, speaking of balance right now, Garrosh taking some damage here on the front line. Trying to hold down the support camp as all 5 are coming up. Blaze a little bit late to the party, but he makes it in pretty stylistic fashion.
This is actually another lesson that you guys can take from this a bit. You don't always have a reason to push a lane out quickly. Oftentimes when you want to make a rotation, and of course first you're going to try and take the wave out and then you make the rotation. But if you're just finding yourself in the solo lane and your opponent has a very gank heavy squad, there is no reason for you to get aggressive and try to eliminate a wave, because it will push the entire balance of the lane towards the left side, and you will have to extend yourself in a much more dangerous territory in order to catch experience later, and that gives your opponent a chance to rotate towards you and take you down. So you always have to figure in what composition your opponent plays when you're making these moves.
Yeah, very true point, unless you're fighting over a watchtower, because the winner of the watchtower wins the game. Everyone knows that, especially on Cursed Hollow or Blackheart's Bay. Don't forget that rule, Caldor.
Yeah. I don't know if if everyone knows that you are being sarcastic here, so you don't always have to fight over that watchtower. This goes especially for Sky Temple. You don't have to 5-man it every day.
Yeah, Sky Temple definitely, but Curse 100%.
Should reclaim them.
Ooh, control point here on the bottom. As Darkmore tries to delay, but Wubby comes in with the body block, making sure he can't do propulsion. Now he gets a full drain left on 2, taking him down to half health.
Yeah, Raid Boss doing a lot of work here with that combo that we just saw from Chromie. That being said, I mean, we saw already as we were talking about these things that the Biotic Emitter went over to Dignitas, so they have taken the lead in items and also claimed the position now on the control point and the checkpoint itself. But there is a push. Started up at the top, and it was actually a 2-man that we saw there. So Muradin was trying to anchor against Tacita, which is really important, slowing down the rotation and forcing Snitch over towards the right side to move up around there. So it's a little bit of time wasted, and that allows Granit Gaming to now move into the checkpoint themselves. So a pretty cute maneuver here, pushing the lane out, having a camp available there, and making sure that the rotation that had to come in from Dignitas as a reaction to it would be too late.
JPL trying to hold on the front line as he wants to make sure the point is not contested. 81-0. Leo is not here, but he's dealing with Blaze in the bottom. So this is a 4-on-4 here in the middle lane. As long as Poik doesn't take too many sandblasts to the face, he should be able to put up decent damage. Gotta watch out for non-hitting Stormbolt. Ooh, the moment that Stormbolt misses though, Poik can put out a little bit of damage. Granit Gaming stepping up, trying to grab control. But JPL is doing such a good job of contesting.
Yeah, Leoric actually has a lot of trouble here too. Wubby moves in and is immediately on half health, so those combos coming out of Raid Boss do solid work, and the entire time we're seeing Memecraft just getting the damage in. I have to say that his Phoenix play is actually pretty aggressive, and sometimes maybe getting a little bit out there, but overall I'm actually enjoying his Phoenix play a lot, especially compared to the Hanzo play that we've seen last week.
Yeah, he seems to do a solid job on heroes that require you to be a little bit in your face in terms of trying to put out the damage. Phoenix, Valera, these characters that allow him to really dictate space, and the Phoenix today has been on point. Imagine if he was playing against another team, they may have earned a few more wins here, but still, putting the hurt on Dignitas is a reward in itself.
Yeah, just heroes with a heavy focus on auto attacks seem to be really strong for him.
Yeah.
In particular. JPL now, again, here we come to engage. Darkmog into the backline. Dignitas is suffering a lot here, despite the biotic emitter that they have as a healing, but Darkmog also with the jet propulsion barely moving out. Nanda hopping away. And the entire Drain Hope is giving him a lot of trouble. Wolfjoy is attempting to keep him alive, but now we see Deckard Kane in trouble, and he goes down. Dignitas with a nice wedge driven between the forces of Granit Gaming, and they use that to get the first kill.
But the theme continues for Granit Gaming. Everything is so close for them, right? It's just barely off. That bio, the healing pulse that coming in there, it really allowed for Team kind of stay alive there on the bottom right corner. If Granit Gaming had been able to clear that up, maybe the pulse hadn't gotten so much healing off, they may be able to get a kill, but a slight misstep in focusing what they needed to clear up. And now Team Dignitas, who has a level already on the experience, is moving towards level 10, has a protector, and is going to set up the next control point. This is going to be a big gap for them.
Yeah, this is going to be a disaster. Let's be honest about this for a moment, because Dignitas now is level 10. So they have a 1.5 level lead nearly already, and they can really aggressively now push forward with their heroics if they want to.
Ooh,
already jumping in here, but even if those two pop out, they can do a lot of damage. It's decent defense here, but that fountain is eventually going to fall.
There we go.
And that's the engage on Tim.
The Raid Boss is out of mana. And Team Dignitas has Volley here on the front line, who can put out a decent amount of damage and also continue auto-attacking.
Darkmog barely got away from this one. That was a close call. Nanda jumps in, but they don't get the lockdown against JPL in range of the fort. But they're still holding on to that, but Dignitas has a significant lead now, and they are definitely heavily pushing towards the fort. They're soaking some of the shots with Broccoli here. Well, Furians level 4 are definitely working for them. JPL soaks the damage. Armor comes out from Snitch, and that's a fort gone at the top. So not only the well is gone, but also the fallback point.
All of that being available due to them having their heroics, but also Chromie having no mana. Only able to about the Sandblast. Team Dignitas immediately turns their eyes towards the items to get the support camp at the top. And they'll be able to work on those turrets pretty soon too. Looking at the bottom though, Phoenix is working on level 10, and here it is. This is the moment for Granit Gaming to get some fights they would like. They have to stay a while and listen. Salvo comes out too. And of course a bunker. So getting that aggression, the dive, very capable for them.
Dignitas is just going through the checklist now. They're trying to go for the camps. They're trying to take the items that they can. They have the biotic emitter. They're going for the tower, the same, or the turret, the same as what Granit Gaming is doing here. Problem is still that Dignitas is very likely to get 13 around the second objective, and they already have the positional advantage at the top lane through the fountain that they took out. So things are absolutely fantastic for them. The onus is really on Granit Gaming. They need to find that opportunity for a kill, and this is not going to be something that Dignitas is going to allow easily. Bunker comes out, good damage against Poik, but the Stormbolt doesn't connect, and now they're going for the counter kill. And Wolfjoy is trapped by the Entomb, and Snitch is delivering. Down he goes, and that makes matters worse for Dignitas now.
Yeah, JPL has another toss available. So Granit Gaming has to back up, and they do, especially after losing Wolfjoy. Team Dignitas getting that kill can now start to siege on these turrets, get to 13. You need to be careful not to give off Chromie too many stacks. Poik gonna dodge out. Another throw, here's the taunt. And Blaze, focused and killed.
Yeah, Dignitas is absolutely taking Granit Gaming apart right now. They're like a surgeon with a scalpel, just taking everything off. We have Dignitas in a 2-0 lead, 2 levels ahead, 13 versus 11, 3 kills to 0. They're looking dominant in this game.
Oh, they are. Wobby already working on the top lane, the middle lane as well. On cruise control, it feels like.
Again, it comes down to the draft debate. Banning Urel here, I can understand why they banned Urel, but this is the one map where you could have definitely made a better decision simply going for Tacita. Now, Dignitas is falling exactly into the same draft patterns on Volskaya that they showed in the previous 2 weeks. And they are running that double support composition that has been so successful for them here. And Granit Gaming just doesn't have the answer at this point. They are 2 levels behind. We are now seeing the control point claimed, or about to be claimed, by Garrosh to the top. Memecraft is trying to send at least a camp to the top lane to help out with that, but things are just getting worse here pretty quickly. The stat advantage alone is a problem, but then you also have the item advantage. On the other hand, a kill against Snitch would be great, but he still had Dimensional Shift. Barely gets out. And a flip against Nande puts him into a very troublesome spot, and down he goes. Muradin is eliminated. Didn't even pop Avatar here. Wolfjoy goes down, and I mean, Dignitas is just rolling over them.
This hurts to watch, actually, a little bit.
Yeah, this is actually painful.
It seems like a heavyweight hitting a featherweight, right? Like, they're having a really hard time getting these engages. It seems like they're playing around there. Even there, we had Garrosh dropped on the Indomitable, interrupt Decker Kane, who's trying to go for the stay a while and listen, and then he was cleaned up afterwards. 2 picks for Dignitas, controlling the point. Granit Gaming, however, did take their time to put Phoenix in the bottom lane and Blaze here in the middle too, so they can get 13 for this defense. But Dignitas is okay. You want experience, we want turrets. They push top.
Yeah, Granit Gaming did a great job, especially on the second map. That's where they looked the strongest. But even on the first map on Dragonshire, they played on par with Dignitas for a long time. But over here, they just looked like a punching ball. They're getting smacked in the face the entire time. Every single engagement that Dignitas takes, they're walking away with kills. Granit Gaming is not finding an opening here at all and has a huge amount of trouble. Dignitas has opened up the top lane completely. Now we're seeing Dig taking the Protector, and they are not walking to the middle. They're not trying to get a fort. They're saying at this point, guys, we're 2 levels ahead. We're closing in on 16. We can actually even think about making a play for a keep already.
There is some slight good news.
It really hit me.
Slightly good news.
They have 13,
news.
yeah.
Yeah, 13 hits, and Chromie stacks are getting close. 52 of the 60 needed. Twilight Dream comes out, Blaze is low and silenced. All right, I got bad news. They might lose a keep.
I got more bad news. Everybody's dying. Blaze goes down, Deca too, and yeah, the Protector is gone as well. But they are just going for kills at this point. Another Entomb, Raid Boss in trouble. Still has the timeout that helps him for now. But Dignitas is just not stopping that. They're 3 levels ahead. They have level 16 now. And they're just going in. The only thing that really keeps them from completely destroying everything right now is that they have to be careful of Chromie. But that's really the only thing. And even with that threat looming over them, they're still going for the keep.
Chromie finishes the quest, so Wobby's getting kind of low on health. Sandblast coming out. Blaze moves in. They want to keep this keep alive. Wobby trying to Wraithwalk away. It's low on health. Can the Stormbolt connect? No. Taunt comes out. Darkmoth unable to drop his bunker. Finally comes out. Snitch will use the Archon and try to 1v1 against Phoenix there. Protust battle on the top.
Yeah, and I can tell you which Protust is going to win that if he continues to get the assistance there. Talking about assistance, Darkmoth is again thrown in and down he goes. Blaze is dead. No one can kill JPL. Entomb is blocking Nande, perfectly lined up against the debris here. Chromie is down, and now they're going for Wolfjoy. This is just brutal. This is getting ugly.
Savo comes out, try and clean up these kills. But eventually, with the minion wave at Dignitas Leo driving on a turret, they can get this keep. 16 to 14, keep finally killed up. Poik wants a little bit more though, putting some damage on Nande, but now it's time to back up.
Yeah, Dignitas is just destroying. 17 against 14. they've always been a team, and they've been talking about this in the past few winners interviews too. They just said, yeah, we need always a bit of a warm-up. For some reason, in the first map, it's really not looking too hot. That's also the one map that they lost. This time, it took them a little bit longer to get on full gear, like to their full form and go full Super Saiyan on us. Took them the game of Tomb of the Spider Queen to come into that, but here they're just showing their full strength, and it is terrifying.
They're taking everything too. Everything on the map they want. Support camp, opponent's turret to the right side. They'll have all the items going into the next control point to get that protector. They have catapults pushing in the top lane too, so they don't mind dancing around here on the bottom left, even with Chromie sieging away. Granit Gaming actually putting up a decent defense here.
I mean, the one thing that I really still like, and you talked about this, is how Raid Boss is able to stack this quickly, but then we have to be honest here, one of the reasons why he's able to get this many stacks is because Dignitas have constantly pushing in against Chromie, and that's a spot where she just has an easier time getting those stacks together, but it definitely gives them a power spike that will maybe allow them to get a kill. And they're so far behind, they get a lot of underdog experience if they can get kills, but so far it just doesn't look really likely.
What do you think here? We get 16 and go for a fight?
I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
This is the only opportunity you get. This is the only chance that you're going to get in this game is once that you have 16, you're in even talents with Dignitas. That's the moment when you have to make your play. If you miss out on that, Dignitas is going to hit 20, and then you're just completely done. First of all, Vala's going to get Firefly Quiver. Good luck dealing with that, because she is already tough to kill with a double support. But if she has even more range, then you're doomed. And if then also Buried Alive comes into play for Leoric, then you have an even bigger problem. And that's the 16, and they do the only thing they can. They try to make the play.
Bunker comes out. Will be taking some damage, but still full on health. Wraith Walk comes out too as well. Sit on his front tanks. Will be trying to control the point, and JPL going for the toss, but sadly cannot connect it thanks to the conveyor belts.
Yeah, Wooby already does this thing. Ominous Raid the entire time. Raid boss is low, and Poik is just shredding away. Going in and damage the entire time. The taunt is in. Twilight Dream.
They get it.
They go for it. But Vala goes down. Tacita 2. Blazers fall, but it's still a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Granit Gaming. It's the one chance that they have, and they're taking it.
They're taking it. Wooby actually coming in here. They're wanting to fight here with Double Tank and a Malfurion. Team Dignitas trying to get on top of Wolfjo. Wolfjo, however, getting the heals out. Nande lands another Stormbolt. Memecraft able to put that damage too. Potentially chasing in as well. But with 2 members down, Granit Gaming can turn around and look to start controlling this point, and they will, as they hope to get a percentage themselves.
Yeah, not only do they have to take the point, they also have to try and take already a few of those structures just to close that experience gap. Because even with the 2 kills that they just got, they are still 2 levels behind. So they have to do some work here. And they're already attempting to do exactly that. To be honest, in an ideal world, they would at least send someone top lane and to clear out some of these catapults. That's what I'm worried about the most. Maybe Blaze now that he's back, because there's another 12 seconds left, but these catapults, there's a massive wave at the top. A massive, massive wave. That's, I think, 3-4 catapults that we already have there. 3 catapults, 4th one coming in soon, and that's going to push straight towards the core. So someone has to deal with.
Granit Gaming, knowing they need experience, is actually going to work on this fort here to get a nice chunk of that experience, but JPL and Zelia together are doing enough to prevent them from moving forward. And Dignitas about to hit 20, and with their all 5 members up of the team, they're looking to actually push down and grab this point. A taunt on Nande as he gets thrown underneath the fort. He pops the avatar and can't stay alive.
And Wooby is even contesting the point. Wooby just moved in from the back and just started contesting the points. It's like, you know what? No. It's just not happening.
At 99% too.
Yeah. I mean, Chromie survives, so that's a plus. But they were just a bit too greedy there again, staying out there. Wooby goes in, contested. They have the 20. To be fair, even without Muradin dying, it would have been a 20 versus 16 talent fight over it. Wooby moved in the perfect time. They knew that Blaze was top lane, but now Dignitas is just continuing what they started. 2 levels ahead, 12 kills against 2. They're going to take the Protector eventually. Granit Gaming at least got the double kill. They nearly came back into that, and if they get the Protector, they might be able to draw even an experience. Tough. That could have happened.
Granit knows that one's on the control point, so they're going to try and fight with a 4v4. They put damage on JPL. Indomitable out. Snitch, Dimensional Shift, able to get out too. No fight for Granit Gaming. We do have Muradin back and ready to go, but with the Protector marching its way towards the south, this is looking like it might just be game. Yeah, and of course catapults are pushing through the top lane too, so they are going to lock into onto the core in just a few seconds. And you have 2 catapults, a 3rd one moving in now that attack the core while you have the Protector at the bot lane. So it's a loss no matter what happens here. They go again for Blaze, and he's just down. He's the punching ball of the game. 5 deaths on him, 5 on Deckard. The catapults are shredding the shield away to the top. They don't even have to go for the keep, they could just go for the core here, it doesn't even matter. At this point, Dignitas is just toying with their food. keep down, Minion Wave joining, and they move straight to the score that's already down to 85%. You mentioned the catapult's already getting on top of the core. Down to 60. They find another kill on the old man himself. Kane has been cleaned up. Wubby trying to find a kill on Chromie if possible, while Poik has to deal with Nande, but it doesn't matter. The big robot and the big Archon finish off the core, and that's going to be a 3-0 for Team Dignitas.
GG and well played. Dignitas dominant, and they make it work. Granit Gaming with a great showing on Tomb of the Spider Queen, no doubt about it. Dragonshire actually